Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about The Walking Dead World Beyond and the Rick Grimes movies and some really exciting news that we got about this. Now, the connection between the two. Now, I wasn't really expecting this news. It's really awesome, as you can see from the title. This is something that we've already speculated in the past, but I wasn't really expecting us to get this information confirmed to us, but we did. Now, this interview or this information comes from Kirsten Acuna. She had an interview with Nico Tortorella, who plays Felix on the new show. So this is from Insider. I have the link in the description down below if you want to go check out the full article. We're going to be talking about something that Nico said during this interview, which is really awesome, where he pretty much confirms that, you know, he knows where Rick is, or the characters know where Rick is, and that the show will lead into the movies. Now, again, this is something that we've speculated before, so it's not that shocking or anything like that, but it's really cool to see it being confirmed. And again, I'm sure that a lot of people were already speculating this because it's only going to be 2 seasons, and on top of that, the CRM is going to be at the main group at the on the show. So I think people were already expecting this, but again, really cool that it got confirmed. Now, before we get into the specifics, I guess a general spoiler warning in case you aren't caught up. I mean, we're not going to be really talking about spoiler. We're not going to be talking about the shows too much, just the news about the shows, but I always say that in case. And then also, if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, be sure to hit the subscribe button because The Walking Dead is returning in about 2 weeks. We got the finale, and then Fear the Walking Dead, and in the World Beyond as well. So on the channel, you know, we'll be covering all that kind of stuff, doing reviews and breakdowns and all that kind of stuff. So if you are a fan of the show, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with all that being said, let's get into this. So yeah, let's get into this, and then after we read the quote, we're gonna go ahead and talk about in what ways will they connect and all that kind of stuff. But again, shout out to Kirsten Acuna from Insider. This is the information that she got. But yeah, this is what Nico Tortorella said. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. I'm sorry, but I know exactly where he is, but I'm not allowed to answer that question, Nico Tortorella said, or Nico Tortorella told Insider in a small group of journalists last November from the set of The Walking Dead World Beyond when asked where Rick may be. Alright, so that's really interesting that this information was told to these journalists last November, but I don't know about the other journalists. You know, obviously this is the only one I saw, the only article, but it's interesting how, you know, like almost a year ago this information came out and they can only now release it, probably because The World Beyond is airing, but that is really interesting. And I think it makes sense for them to wait till, you know, around the time it's going to air, because this is definitely going to hype up people to watch it. I mean, I know I'm going to watch it regardless, but it just makes sense for them to, you know, just in case some people maybe are not interested in the show. I think if they find out that Rick is involved in this, they're definitely going to be interested. But when he said that, apparently a lot of the journalists were in disbelief. And then he continued by saying, yeah, I do. I'm not effing with you, Tortorella said. I absolutely do. So yeah, there you go. He even had to confirm it, like you saw over there, because I guess they were just in disbelief that he knows where Rick is. So that's really interesting. So probably, you know, The World Beyond has a really important little 2-season role in like the bigger things going on in the universe with the Rick Grimes stuff, because I get, because he knows where he is. I mean, why else would they tell him if, you know, the show doesn't really lead directly to that? And, you know, it makes sense because this show is going to be airing in 2021 and then probably 2022. So the Rick Grimes movie, I think, can probably come out after that. Like, I don't know if it's going to be the end of 2022 or the beginning of 2023 or what, but that is really interesting. And again, this is stuff that we've already been speculating, that The World Beyond will lead into the Walking Dead movies, but again, it's pretty cool that we got it confirmed. Imagine how cool it would be if Rick like showed up in The World Beyond season 2. Like, that would be like absolutely insane. I don't know if that's gonna happen or how it's going to connect, like if it's gonna be a direct connection to the movies or what. But this is like really exciting news. And then going on, he said this. What's happening right now is pieces are getting put together to lead us to the movies, which will then lead us to even more storylines, said Tortorella. It's all part of a bigger picture, and we're just characters in this story. That's such a great way to put it. I really like that. because that just makes it super clear. And like I was saying earlier, this is just like a 2-season thing where this is like the bridge connecting The Walking Dead to the movies, and it's like the perfect thing. We get new characters, new spin-offs, new regions, and I think it just works out so well. And he said it here that these are just pieces that we're putting together to lead us to the movies. It's all a bigger picture, and we're just characters in this story. So they're headed to this movie, this big CRM thing, and we're just seeing like part of that right now, or like the things leading to that, I should say. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see if the CRM that we're seeing in The World Beyond, because we are seeing a CRM in The World Beyond. I don't know if this is like the main CRM headquarters, or is it somewhere else? Now, I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere else because, or I should say, it's probably going to be somewhere else, the headquarters, but I'm thinking if the characters we're going to see in this, like the CRM characters we're going to see in this, are they going to be like some of the major CRM members? Are they going to be in the movies? I don't know about that, because he said it here that we're just characters in this story. So I'm thinking that maybe there's going to be characters in The World Beyond, and the world, and in the Rick Grimes movies will be totally different. Because I'm saying that because the main CRM lady that we're seeing in these trailers, she looks like she is like, some sort of lieutenant or something, and that's what she might be. She might be like the leader in this area, and then maybe or maybe this is the headquarters, and where Rick is going is somewhere else. Like maybe they have some other place where they're doing, I don't know, experiments or something, because like I still think that maybe the CRM is involved in finding a cure or something like that, because why else would Jadis be sending her people? Like, why? I'm sure they have a bunch of people already. Look at how big they are. They have helicopters. That's another thing to think about, that if this is another location and then they have another location where Rick is, just shows how big this community really is, because we've seen them on The Walking Dead, we've seen them on Fear the Walking Dead, we're going to see them on The World Beyond, and these are all completely different regions of the US, and then they're probably going to be somewhere else as well, where Rick is. So it also kind of gets confusing, because we also have the Commonwealth, which is the biggest group that we've ever seen so far in the comic books. Now, the CRM doesn't exist in the comic book, so this is a totally new thing, and just sort of makes me wonder if the CRM knows all these people and all these communities, they have to know the Commonwealth, right? Like, why would they not know the Commonwealth? The other, you could argue and say, like, we don't know because we haven't seen them yet, but probably like the second biggest community that we've seen so far after the CRM. So many questions to be answered. You guys be sure to let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. So he goes on to say, I think this show is leading us to the bigger picture of a connection to all 3 of the movies, Tortorella added. We're just gathering as much information as possible to wherever Rick is. So this is where it gets really interesting, because again, he's saying that it's leading us to the movies, but I think if they know where Rick is, the characters are headed towards where Rick is, right? Because I'm assuming Rick isn't where they are, because they're in some sort of community, but the kids leave. That group of kids leave and they're out exploring the world, and then Felix and Huck, I believe, is the other person who's going to come help them. Now, Felix and Huck are part of the CRM. So they're older, obviously the CRM isn't going to tell everybody everything. Like, I'm assuming those kids don't know everything that the CRM is doing, but, maybe the older you get, or depending on the job you have, maybe in this community or whatever, you learn more information. And I think Felix and Huck, we know Felix and Huck are part of the CRM because they had jackets with the CRM symbol, but we also know Felix and Huck are going to be helping the kids. So like he said there, like, we're just gathering as much information as possible to wherever Rick is. I think that's where the show is headed. I think it's directly leading to the movies, and them leaving this community, going on this journey, and then at the end of season 2, they're actually going to go like physically where Rick is, at least like that general location, because why else would it be important where Rick is? If this is just a show to show us a CRM and stuff like that, there's no reason why they would need to know where Rick is. But I think because they know where Rick is, that's where they're literally headed. So that just makes me so much more excited for the show, and it kind of makes sense why they would want to release this information now, right before it airs, because again, I'm sure a lot of people will want to watch this because of that Rick connection. Now, again, I'm not sure if we're going to see Rick in the season 2 finale of this show, or like I guess it's a series finale because it is only 2 seasons. I don't know if we're going to see Rick. I think it'll be absolutely amazing if we do. I definitely think it's a possibility. Like it's only going to be like one episode. You might see him, or we just might hear his voice or something like that. I think they will do some sort of tease because again, if they're headed to where Rick is, they have to give us some sort of like something that Rick is there. They're not just gonna head there and then that's it. So I mean, I think the question is like, are we gonna see Rick or hear Rick? Because I think I mean, maybe even get told about Rick. That might also be the case. But the point is, I think Rick will get a mention in this season or in this series. I don't know if it's gonna be like a big mention. Like, are they gonna repeatedly mention Rick and talk about Rick, or is it going to be like just the very end? But regardless, I'm very excited for this show. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. As far as this video goes, I am going to wrap it up there, so hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating. Again, let me know all your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. You know, how do you think they know Rick? And, you know, are we going to see Rick? How do you think they're going to get to Rick? And what do you think that, you know, how it's going to end? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Again, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you are a fan of the show, be sure to subscribe for more Walking Dead content. And as always, thanks for watching, everybody. Please stay safe, and I'll see you guys soon.